What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to the walkthrough. This time around, we're tackling the Crown of Sand. Just to give you an idea of stuff, we're currently up to level 95. As I mentioned in the last episode, if you're a mage, you might struggle in this area a little bit, so I suggest switching up your code and weapons, as the ichor in this zone, or the sand in this zone, will drain your ichor, so it kind of just sucks for mages. But anyway, the missile, we're going to go straight first. Just ignore everything over there for now, and swing around to the left for some baddies regarding a leak vaccine, which coincidentally is what's going to allow you to stop the leak of all this sand.
Let's avoid deep sand.
Continue and get another. Why are you not dead? Stop that. Continue on this way. There should be another leak vaccine up ahead for us. Firewalker from Monster Hunter for this stuff. Ice works very effectively against everything in this area. Looking for an elemental damage to use. Ah, you big bitch. If that guy does his tornado thing, just keep spanking on him. Don't even let it actually try and get it off. Ammonia chrome across. And then
I did not foresee having
There's
my
someone
daughter
who wanted to
twice
see
daily.
you for a long time.
Stay cautious. Look at that.
I'm gonna go this way, and we're gonna go to the left. Some more goodies. Oh, I also realized this. Check this out. You can block suicide bombers. How OP is that? Kill that guy.
What's that?
Pick up the MJ. Got a condensed loss. And you can actually farm titanium off some of these bigger enemies. But you should have plenty by the time we're done this zone anyway. Alright, so we're going to be going the other way this time. If you need to rest at the missile,
Heading there now.
now is actually a good time to do it. This way. And fight Big Boy first. Just keep it up. Alright, grab the Queen Titanium off of him. Take a left for an ichor coagulant. God, I love that move. The more I play with it, the more I'm like, this is the most consistent greatsword move in the game. Just beats everything down. There's a guy over there up top. He's gonna drop down when we grab this. Io don't play. Io's gonna beat his ass. Give me a titanium. No, nothing. That's part of the reason I have Revenants Greed on now. That'll just help me get my titaniums even faster as I go through. Let's see, 2 enemies on the left. Where am I at? Return to missile, a few big guys. Ichor Coagulant, Harmonia, ambush from behind. Next path there is going to be a suicide bomber here. Kill him first. He's got some friends. This guy was taking care of that one.
I can feel the strength in your conviction. We can certainly use this.
All that crap open. Sneaky slimes. And you're following this around, up the ladder. Around the corner.
Why
Go on and pick up the Harmonia C.
Like this?
Right. So we're gonna go back to where the suicide bomber was and continue in that direction.
I'll be there soon.
This is the other area from before, so if you want to drop down for whatever weird reason, feel free to. And this area is a little tricky, so as you can kind of see looking around, there are a bunch of slimes hiding in the sand. The first thing we're going to do is go over and kill this big ugly. For those wondering how I'm maintaining so much Ichor, I have on both weapon drain and guard drain, so basically I'm just pulling in a shit ton of Ichor in combat constantly. Works really well for melee style builds, but not so much for mages that can't really get in the fray. So we want to run on up here for the regen. And now we're actually gonna make things a little silly here. So we're gonna trying to get every single slime out. I mean, you don't have to fight these slimes, but they are great for farming MJ. I think it's. I wrote a note here. Yeah, MJ 109s. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I got robbed. When I was killing these guys before, they dropped like 5 or 6 MJ 109s. They didn't drop a single one for me. Cheap bastards. And but the real thing here is you want the extension factor, obviously. You don't, you know, killing the slimes isn't a giant concern. Alright, so drop. Grab the charge booster. And then we're going to go right for a missile. Go on and rest on up, get your stuff. And this next part is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I'll show you why in a second here. So before we do anything, we are actually going to switch up to a different weapon and a different veil. I'll probably get by with Noble Silver here. Slow, let me go. That's quick, great. The big thing here is we just want quick mobility. So as you can probably guess, there are a bunch of balls. And these balls, they will hurt. Cannot block them. Can. Oh, get back in there. Trying to get into there. God, I hate this fucking thing. There we go. All right. So drop down. Kill this guy. I can switch back to my goodness. Now we get to annihilate this dick who has been sitting here throwing giant sandballs at us. Punishment! Oh, I hate that damn thing. Alright. So, heading down. Kill that guy, grab the titanium. This one is empty. This one has a baddie. Just wait on my stamina to get back. Alright, let's see, skip one path. Condensed loss. There should have been a... No, never mind, chrome is at the bottom. Kill that guy or run all the way to the end for the chrome. Titanium, condensed lost chrome at the bottom. Yep, and then we already killed the lost and got the MJ310 on the other path. Essentially, you know, if you're like running from spot to spot like this, it's a little bit easier, but then you're like, oh, I gotta go over here. And you get inside and there's like stuff waiting to jump you. It's just pain in the ass. Anyway. So continuing on, there's a bunch of enemies up on the ledges that are going to pop on up. I'm just going to run a little bit.
Want to break off for a bit?
Get them to show up. This one dropped pretty goody for me.
Did you find
Materials.
something good? Everyone's hopes have become
Skip that
restored.
for now.
There are
Go
shimmers
around to
over
the
there.
left. Grab a titanium.
The tableau of endless thirst. It's narrow.
Then we are going to basically sprint. Sprint past. Skip them. Drop at the ladder. This way. Grab that and take the elevator down.
That goes down. Is someone playing tables?
Alright, grab the board game. Down the ladder. Rotten missile. Reveals most of the map for us. Green titanium. And a door. So, obviously that leads back to the missile right up there, and now you don't have to ever deal with that stupid rolling ball again. Until New Game Plus, of course. Oh, anyway, head back on up. You can see there's another ladder we're going to get in a little bit here. Oh, big white. So you patrolled all the way over here. Makes things easy. I honestly didn't know this guy could patrol all the way over here, so it's interesting. Yeah, run past him. We're going to make a hard left after climbing the ladder to get Harmonia D. Scrolling my notes a little bit. Also a couple fire spitters. No. That, heal on up. Then if you didn't fight Big White, he should be waiting like right there for you. But kill the spitter, run up ahead, kill another spitter. Here's the shiny we skipped before. Get out of here. That for the stamp icon book. Let's see. Spitter, spitter, slime, and stamp. So left we have a big dude. And similar to before, just keep whacking away here. Don't let this guy actually get his goodness up.
I'll make good use of this. This place is a mess.
There's a bunch of loot drops here, but we're gonna focus strictly on murdering this guy before we grab anything. Alright. With him dead, claim your prizes. No, I said, yo, out of my way. It's prize claiming time, you dick. Suicide Spur! So if you want to be a Dark Mage, this is the highest dark scaling thing in the game. Just to show off with, here's Isis. As you can see, 929 Dark. It's absolutely ridiculous. So at this point in the game, if you want to be Light Mage, this is the max light gift out of all of the veils in the game. This is the max dark gift out of all of the veils in the
How do
game.
you like exploring?
Now, obviously, there are some things you could mix up. There are certain veils. We have one in one of the later areas that is very nicely balanced for high light and high dark. There are veils that still have a high amount while having some better defenses. But if you just strictly want glass cannon, biggest damage possible, you now have access to those two veils. So grab all the loots, all the shinies. I think we picked up the one that was here earlier. Yeah, let's see. Chest, spotless instrument, 310, and titanium. So now we're going to work our way back towards where Big Whitey would have been. Round this way and circle to the left for an MJ310.
That's all?
No. I can see we have more slimes hiding in the sand here. For them. And over there, there's a shiny in the canister. So we got Big Whitey, M3310, Lost Shard, and around to the right for a record. That's the boxes. Grab the antique LP. Surprised Io didn't kill you. Kill this guy and then look, you'll be able to drop on down. Kill him and get the missile. Go on up. Rocket missile up the ladder. We got jam at the top of the ladder. Get the jam. Kill that guy. And we want to continue straight for a suicider and some titanium.
We can certainly use this.
We have another big white. Couple slimes. Can see even more slimes here too. There we go. That guy was getting on my nerves. Yeah. And there's Harmonia Part E. Shard. And we're good there. We have an MJ310 over here. And then we want to kick the ladder. So at this point, I'd suggest going back for the boss. We're actually going to just send that down and we'll Vivify her over. But up ahead, I mean, there's a couple enemies, but they're not guarding any loots. So now is a great time if you want to heal on up, spend your haze, whatever the case is. We're going to go ahead and a couple more levels, almost up to level 100 now. This is not the missile we want. Back to the entrance we go. Alright, so this next boss is the successor of the Throat. It's essentially a physical damage mage.
I'll be there soon.
Sand spells are considered physical. So, there's no particular elemental resistance you want to work for this. It's weak to slash damage and pierce as well as frost. In my testing, I felt like pierce was stronger, but some of the stats that I've heard people claiming are that it's weaker to slash. So make of that what you will. Point is, don't use blunt. You either want slash or pierce. So just head this way. It has some fists that pop out of the ground, and keep an eye where you're walking here. You don't want to be losing Iker on the way to the boss. You could obviously kill this big guy if you want, but you don't have to kill any of these enemies. You can just go straight towards the boss. Slime over there to your right. Just ignore his ass. Another slime right there. Ignore his ass. And then this sand is actually safe. It's like hard sand, so for whatever reason, sand before the boss doesn't actually drain your Iker. Now you should be at 100% on map. And run up ahead. We're going to restore the memories, of course.
Please, spin a thread of memory for me.
And then I think we can get through this. There's a couple other side things I'd like to knock out this episode.
Please, spin a thread of memory for me.
There's not many side quests that show up after this, but a couple of things that are important. Namely, we gain access to 3 new blood codes, which is huge.
Please, spin a thread of memory for me.
A little storm. Such a good spell. Not as good as the Queen's Breath code. Actually has some pretty bonker spells, but Harmonia is a really nice choice. Really solid mage code that you'll pick up while still going for the good ending.
Spin a thread of memory for me.
So yeah, phase 2, she'll summon up tornadoes. The best thing to do, honestly, is to just stay right on top of the boss. If you're right on top of it, she'll just do like these sweep moves, and she won't really cast that much, which is kind of strange. But you can essentially abuse your positioning to make her do stuff. Like if you stay far away, she'll do a like underground punch thing that'll kind of ripple towards you and come up. She'll do this thing where she puts her hands in the ground and hands will pop up and grab you 3 times in a row. You essentially hit her, roll away, hit her, roll away, just, repeat the cycle. Really not that bad, but anyway, we're gonna get buffed up with some stuff. And then, since Final Journey heals me, go. Run on in. Jack and her have like a touching reunion, and then of course, she essentially goes berserk. And it's time to beat the boss's ass. So this is the hand thing I told you about. After the 3rd dodge, easy window to get in and hit her. Not a fun fight at all for mages, because she's got that shit where she's like perpetually draining your Iker. This is her tornado move. You'll see how they're on like the outskirts of the arena. This is exactly why I said to like stay on top of her. As long as you're right on top of the boss, usually the tornadoes won't hit you. That very first one, she just happened to summon it up right next to us, and so we got a little unlucky there. But yeah, just stay on top of her, keep whacking away.
When I first met Jack,
if you're a mage, I feel bad for you on that fight, to be honest. It sucks. Iker constantly bottoming out.
My throat was ruined. I couldn't even speak. But he took me in without a second thought. I always felt that I was in his debt. I have a naturally high compatibility, so if there's any way that my body could possibly be of use to him, then it is his, even if it costs me my humanity.
Every weeaboo's dream. A waifu that just wants to give you her body for whatever you need it for.
You're finally awake, Jack. Are you still in pain?
I must have fallen asleep. I'm fine. Don't waste your voice on me. This isn't the time for it.
I'm afraid I can't obey that order. I enjoy singing for you too much. Don't blame yourself for this, Jack. You were always so kind to me. I have no regrets. Still, I wish I could sing for you one last time.
Ava's story is actually one of the saddest ones. When Jack found her, because I know I skipped a bunch of the cutscenes, but she was essentially just like a walking blood bag. Like a bunch of Revenants just kept her around to feed on, and they had crushed her throat so she could never like call out or scream for help. Which is pretty fucked up when you think about it. Like literally you're just a walking juice box that can't even talk because they didn't want you to scream. Like that is messed up. So anyway, Harmonia Vestige. Now run all the way down. I get back to the successor to pick up the Eos Blood Code, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is where things get goofy. So up until now, I mean, we've been obviously clapping cheeks. You know, we have been absolutely obliterating bosses. And the thing is, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. We get so much stronger in the next couple episodes here.
Please, look at that. Forgive me.
We got Bridge to Glory coming on into the build. We're gonna have access to Swift Destruction. Like it gets silly. I think y'all are gonna be pretty happy with how this wraps up. So anyway, we're gonna run on up to the next area just to essentially to have the warp, but that is the government center. Really cool kind of screenshot there. If you guys are looking for a cool background, I'd say this is one of the better looking zones in the area.
Let's go to the fortress.
And obviously you want to like go with like a light weapon so you don't really see it, but really cool kind of seeing the fortress with all the thorns off in the distance. So anyway, take this. This will warp you on through. And I got 2 minutes on this video before we go past that 30-minute mark.
Watch your step.
Do. Surrounding area is mapped. Teleport back to Crown of Sand entrance. So Ava's Blood Code is what we just picked up, Harmonia. It's pretty much the highest scaling in terms of just flat out mage. You know, like once again on the note of if you want to be a glass cannon, that is the highest damaging mage in the game.
I can't be sure there's no body.
Using Queen's actually really good, and you'll get some better stats, some better health and whatnot. But if your only concern here is going to be your outright damage potential, Harmonia is the top end. It is the black mage that will dunk on all other black mages, essentially. So do that quest for this dude. We'll run back and turn that in. And with all 4 of these successors defeated, there's a couple other things we can gain access to as well, which we're going to cover real fast. RV Mastery from him. And that picks us up. Complete Attention. Charge Drain grants focus. From here, teleport to Crypt of the Ribcage. We're actually going to run on down.
I'll be there soon.
And all the way down at the bottom, now have access to Karen's Blood Code, Demeter, which is a very nice support-oriented blood code. Let's see, for some reason, Dark Souls vibes. I was like, there's something under the stairs. Even though I know there's nothing under the stairs, I still felt compelled to check. So warp back. Let's see, we did that. We're gonna warp over to the butterfly. This quest is done, but he has like a little line of dialogue being like, hey, thanks, we're gonna, waiting on Richard, and then we're gonna move on and set up a home and we'll all live, and thanks for your help, you're a cool guy.
Oh, well, we wouldn't have made it anywhere without...
How do you like
Thank
this
you, you
one?
helped us. And then last, but certainly not least, teleport back to the home base. And from the home base, you can now have Ava as your companion. Even in New Game Plus, if you decide to not rescue her, you can still have her as a companion once you've unlocked her. Talk to Murasame. Get the fiendish blood code, which has some absolutely ridiculous things in it, including one of the passives in the game, Swift Destruction, which will allow you to do 20% additional damage. On over here, and talk to Jack. Jack will give you his blood code. You can also have him as a companion now. And then last but not least, talk to Eos and restore that vestige.
What is
Gain access to Bridge to Glory, the best goddamn buff in the game. So either way, that's going to wrap things up. I'm going to be resetting up my class for the next zone using some of the new stuff we unlocked, and I'll go through that at the start of the next episode. But namely, you'll want to obviously look to inherit Bridge to Glory and also inherit Swift Destruction. So anyway, make sure to stay tuned. Up in the next part, we got Crypt Spire, which is a rather lengthy area. It also wraps up with a double boss fight, so maybe a two-parter episode, we'll see. But stay tuned, and I'll catch you all soon enough with more.